Alright, what's up guys? It's God Strike Report here with Dayhan and Butters. Sadly, this is not the introduction video, but the detailed guide of Kid Goku. Right in front of us we have Richie's list. He's got a blue-yellow version. Obviously there are many different ways we can go about it, but this is just a quick sample of what you can expect from a Kid Goku list in a nutshell. So the thing about Kid Goku is that it's just a very strong and flexible deck overall. It doesn't punish you for its plays or any misplays as heavily as some other decks or the sequencing of how you would go about your turn. So the thing you do about the deck mainly is you try to find the 1-drop Son Goku the Adventurer that begins is your ideal 1-drop, as he always continues to draw you additional 4-star balls through the deck, and you need the 4-star ball to always just keep generating free value of card draw and pressure. Now you usually end up always activating his ability to pull out 30k beats to apply aggression and pressure, or use the Krillin that is up, it's somewhere over here, Krillin right there, to pull out the 20ks from your graveyard. So you're just applying beats and pressure with just vanilla cards and just fat numbers for attacks, while being able to filter through your deck and being able to play bombs such as Gogeta 7 and Demigra with no no punishment to how your deck is designed or built. So going to the strengths of the deck, Butter will explain to you all about that.
So this deck honestly is probably, if like we're playing a race, this deck takes off the fastest because the best card in your deck is a 1-drop. So turn 1, you get +2 in hand because you get to draw off leader and you get to draw off you get a 4-star from the deck. So he just immediately starts getting his value insanely fast. So being able to go to the 1-drop, grab your things, and then most people awaken turn 2, because if your opponent swings at you once, you usually always have either the Pan or the Krillin in this deck scenario. So you just combo vanilla, and then you have the awaken. So you just push 1 damage for virtually free, and now you're 15k. So now your opponent's leader swings, at least most leaders, don't even touch you anymore until they awaken. And 4-star ball is dude, it's not even it's just the whole combination. Like once you have a vanilla on board and you swing with like the 30k Goku in this instance, just 4-star Goku, grab back 4-star. You just did a 40k swing for virtually nothing. When in most decks that's 2 super combos and a 5k.
Yeah.
So like your opponent's gonna minus or they're gonna take damage. It's one of the two. And then after you still beat them to death with all these big number vanillas, you can slam down boss monsters like Demigra and Gogeta, like you said, with basically no punishment, because your whole deck is you can just combo from hand. Like the only things that are 10ks are Gogeta, Demigra, and your double strike Kai. The rest of it you can combo with /beam.
All right. I mean that's fair. A lot of free in this deck, and we know how we feel about that. Look at Super Shenron.
Free real estate.
All right. Now the deck has a lot of strengths. It doesn't have terribly too many weaknesses. The main downside is that a lot of its bigger plays or big tempo turns require to tap out. So if you find yourself in the awkward situation of having to use an extra card, you either have to take off your turn of pressure, or you just have to sit back on the extra card. That's its main downside, is the fact that most of its plays require you to tap out to go hard in it. The other thing is that you can kind of look at as a negative thing to draw a lot in the Jimmer match, but I mean that's a controlled thing, especially since you don't have to draw on leader back on leader any side, so you can always have that leader swing without having to worry about drawing a card.
Yeah.
And that the deck doesn't have terribly too many weaknesses, except of just being a generally linear play, and that if you're able to deal with the Son Goku Adventure Begins and they don't have a Krillin to follow it up, like say you put a Crisis Crusher, they're kind of stuck for a minute. Like they don't have much else to do except maybe cast 2-drop vanilla. At that point, you're kind of accepting that trade. If you can deal with the Crisis Crusher consistently, or not the Crisis Crusher, excuse me, the Son Goku Adventure Begins, their tempo and their whole advantage is kind of shut down. Also, all their self-awakening tools are 1-drops. So they're kind of twiddling their thumbs until they can either find a Krillin to remove it or any other way they have to pressure it off the board.
Exactly.
I guess another strength of the deck though, Devin, would be its sideboard tech and its flexibility.
Yeah, you can just run it. Like, just slap anything you want in this deck. Like, just run a color vanilla and then slap a boss monster in that color and you're good.
Right? Or just like busted extra cards.
Exactly. Like, people sideboard Adel Cost, they sideboard the extra Gogeta. It's just like,
Yeah.
like
You get a
said, don't
sideboard
get
boss
punished for
monsters.
playing anything.
Yeah.
You don't get punished. Like, you're almost Gogeta ramp. You just play. You're like, I'll just play this because I can.
Pretty much is how it ends up being. And there's the different color combinations, like you can do be red for more aggressive, and helps in the mirror match to have the extra Android 8 pops on command to help tempo out the
Nothing
game.
stays on board. Nothing.
Or you have yellow, which you get Nimbus, Crusher Ball, and you get Critical Krillin. So you have different forms of attack. Or you just have pure mono blue, which is just extremely consistent. It relies on finding the Gogeta, and Mafuba's in the main and such.
That's also an advantage with decks like that. Where, like, say when Shenron first came out, when you sat down across from, or SS3, like, you sat down across from me, you're like, oh, what deck?
Oh
am I
yeah,
using?
which variation?
So you can't really, like, when you're sitting there, you're like, okay, I have this, and this. This is what I keep for this deck. This is what I keep for this version. This is what I keep for this version. And you're kind of like stuck in limbo. And if you guess on the wrong one,
Yeah, you just kept like an ugly hand against them. You're like, oh
yeah,
man.
you're like, oh, I'm facing the mono blue build. I want my fast, like, tempo cards. I can hit him really fast. Turns out you're facing the mono red aggro version, and you're like, oh, I just kept a bunch of one-drop critical attackers.
Yeah, and they're just gonna pop all of them off the board and
Yeah,
like just
exactly.
accrue value on that. Yeah, the deck is it's super flexible, and the more cards that come out for it, like the yellow version or blue yellow is gonna get more popular due to Mutado coming out to help deal with Hidden Mastery.
Yeah.
So I was like, this deck can slide into whatever good colors it needs to for the meta at any point in time, especially since there's 30k vanillas and 20ks for every color now.
Yep.
So I was like, that's just free slots.
I guess one other downside to the deck, I mean, it's a benefit to have your curve, like, best card in the deck be a one-drop, but then it also means it's easily removable, because a lot of things say blank or less, or, like, reduction of power is only 5k.
Yeah.
So if someone slaps down playing an M2, like, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, you're not gonna have terribly too much fun, or like when you sit across Baby Vegeta, their leader just on command removes it.
So it's just like, yeah, you have the benefit of getting it down immediately and getting that value quick, but it can also just be taken away just as fast.
Yeah, you gotta pick and choose the times at which to play it.
Yep.
All right, so that's the Kid Goku deck as a whole. We're gonna go over into a couple of specific matches. One of the more popular ones right now is the Victory Strike. So for Victory Strike, you have to be a little bit more aggressive against them. You can't let them sit back or whatever, or Victory Strike will start to win. Because we all know you're on a clock when you're against Victory Strike. More or less also if they find it. So like the main thing is you want to find your 1-drops to awaken as quick as possible, to be aggressive to pressure their life total, or find Son Goku the Venture Begins and start slapping 30ks in their face. You just want to make it to where they have to combo away their hand to where you can easily out-combo the Victory Strike swing. Or just kill them outright, because I mean you're just swinging with fat numbers. They don't have the combo power like Janemba does to fight over fat numbers as easily. So like a 30k can just eat out 3 to 4 cards out of hand, no problem.
Fun times. But I think it really depends on what version you're facing as well. Because, like, versus Broly, it's going to be easier to aggro them down, because unless they open the absolute nuts and, like, open Victory Strike, like, complete chain, done. But, like, most of them have to attack you to generate some kind of value, which, like, they usually take their own life. So they kind of help you. But U7 Frieza is more like, I'm just going to sit here, sit back, not touch you, you don't talk to me, I'm going to Victory Strike you.
But even that one can still get attack. The thing is, that one runs Crisis Crusher in the main, so that can help stem the bleeding, as you need to find a Krillin for that. So, like,
Yep.
when you're playing against like a U7 version or any version that's going to bring a Crisis Crusher, you want a hard mulligan for Krillins. Krillins and 1-drops. You just need to be able to play a 1-drop first, make them use it, then pop, be able to combo away a 20k, and then pop it with Krillin. Just get back on the aggression.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
don't have any dead turns versus Victory Strike.
No, this deck doesn't have too many dead turns in general.
It's like, oh, I have a 1-drop on field. I will create a 30k and also net 3 new cards.
Yeah, deck is free real estate. All right.
It's very consistent. So.
Oh, yeah, that's probably one of the best 50-50 decks in the game. It's one of the better mid-range decks at the moment.
Yeah, it's not. You don't have like an absolute guaranteed win versus a lot of matchups, but you don't have an absolute guaranteed loss versus most.
Oh yeah.
You're just there.
Even against Janemba, like they have one of the best cards. The best card against Janemba, Gogeta 7.
Yep.
Which has no neg to use as a Union Fusion in this deck because there's 20k vanillas of both Goku and Vegeta and almost all the colors. And if not, soon there will be probably.
Yeah. They're making a Xeno Goku with the new set coming out.
Xeno Trunks.
No, Xeno Goku.
Oh, for real?
It's SS3 Trunks and Xeno Goku.
Oh, word. Okay. Even more tools for Kid Goku.
Vanilla Black Trunks coming out, which is also Xeno. So like, just the deck's always like. It's funny to say that a vanilla gives support to a deck, but
it just offers different things.
just different color variation, which is always nice. And you don't have any silver bullets against you because you're a black leader.
Yeah, until they do make one finally. But I don't know how they would try to shoot black leaders since most of them are tied to overwhelming.
Yeah, like I really don't. Yeah, it'd be really weird.
I don't know what it would be, but
Your opponent can't search for a Dragon Ball next turn.
so let's talk about Kid Goku's matchup versus Janemba. Honestly, I think game 1, it's kind of favored. Honestly, I think it just comes down to die roll personally. I think whoever's on the play has too much advantage.
Yeah.
Because like as a Janemba player, being on the play versus on the draw, if I can get like one extra turn of having all my cards to be useful before they Gogeta 7 me, usually is enough for me to win the game. Versus where I only get to use like one Janemba before Gogeta 7.
Yep.
So
it's difficult. Like you really just have to hope, like, because they have Demigra and Gogeta 7, so those two cards like require different lines of play.
yeah, and it also comes down to that if they get milled.
Yeah, and how smart is your if you are doing your effect constantly, which you don't really need to. Once you have like 10 cards in hand, which happens within like the first 2 turns.
Oh yeah, you can
so
just
you're gonna be taking
you just recycle 4-star ball.
You don't. Yeah, you don't like you just swing with a vanilla combo. Goku grab back from drop area, bam, instant plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have free combo power.
10k, 5k. They're gonna -1 if you're swinging with a 30k. If they're swinging with 40, they're taking damage.
So like for Janemba matchup, you want to find obviously a Son Goku The Adventure Begins, maybe a Krillin, or if you just want to go for 30k Beach, which is also fine. But you might only want to find the Goku and Vegeta Union Fusion and a Gogeta 7. Now after a certain point when playing in the matchup, you want to kind of slow down the drawing. You do sometimes see people still activating ability when they only have like 8 cards. Like no, when you're at like 12 cards in deck, you kind of want to pump the brakes and just recycle the resources you have, like using just only 4-star balls or multiples of them and pulling 30ks out of your graveyard. You don't really need to be activating Leer ability. Just you need to recycle the cards and resources that you already have. That way, the deck can replenish its resources without having to redraw, which is a strong factor against Janemba. You reduce their clock, force their actions, while applying pressure, while keeping hand size so you don't just get randomly shotgunned as easily. So you can filter less while applying pressure.
Yeah, play through the drop area.
Yeah, definitely. Hard mulligan for Demigra and Gogeta. Sideboard extra Gogetas if you want. I mean, I've seen people do that, and I hate it when they go to 3. It's like, I milled one, yes! And then they still play one of like, damn.
Like you see one charged, and then like you mill one, you're like, oh, it's probably both of them. They usually only run 2, and you're like, nah, I got a 3rd, boy.
Yeah, it's like if they charge on you, like, I'm done here. they had 2 in their hand.
Rips in chat.
Yeah, seriously, just like press F and chat on turn 5.
Please draw a blue card.
Basically. Alright. Now the mirror match for Kid Goku. It's kind of a weird one.
It really depends on like that same thing. It's like, oh, what color variation am I facing?
Mm-hmm.
In the mirror, I feel like the yellow has somewhat of an advantage with the Crusher Ball aspect, but I think mono red, just due to the sheer removal with the Android 8 combo with the Chi-Chis and the red Gokus.
They get to filter through their deck quicker while just constantly keeping a board clear for also free value while applying pressure. It just
Also Dexball, who slams down Demigra faster.
Whoever gets Gogeta first or Demigra, and then you're like, well, that was cool.
Who's turn 5 play pops? Like,
basically, who got the boss monster on 5 is what it comes down to. Is a survival, boss monster, out value.
Yep.
Or if you can just keep him off tempo quick enough while being aggressive is good enough too. Say you find a 1-drop Goku and they don't. Well, we already know who's kind of winning that race and finding their pieces. You know? One gets a +2.
Question mark? And they're like, oh no.
Yeah, especially if you don't put a Goku or a ball, you've already lost the game. I think the mirror match comes down heavily to play draw, who finds the Goku, and if both find the Gokus, who finds the Krillin and remove it, and then like deck variation. Because obviously the red doesn't have Gogeta 7, but it can pop more cards and flood the board faster.
Yep.
So that makes the earlier turns not as bad.
Yeah, you're not going to have the consistent pressure of, like, the same 30k every turn. You'll have to replenish it with a new Goku and then tap its abilities.
Yeah, it's forcing you to tap out more to do any useful play.
And versus the mono-red version is what they want, because it's like, you can't defend yourself.
Mm-hmm. Or you're going to start actually negging hand size, and then they've already started winning that point. Like, if you slam Gogeta, you put him down to 3 while you're at, like, 2 life, and while they've been at 6 because they've been popping all your cards, and it's like, you got like 4 cards in hand, 2 life. I got 6 life and 3 cards in hand. This board state. What up?
Fight me. But that's a lot of mirror matches. It just comes down to most mirror matches are like identical decks, but this is one where it could be a lot different.
No, yeah, different variations. Whoever wanted to put different tech in there. Maybe yellow version put in cargo to pop a vanilla. I don't know if they want to go that deep, but I'm just saying it's a thing. The deck is just hyper flexible. It's defensive, offensive. It honestly does it all. That's why it's got one of the best 50-50s. And like, if you're a relatively new player or just not confident what to play, just take a Get Goku deck.
Honestly,
it's kind of like how Hurdigarn was. Your bad hands will kind of fix themselves usually.
Because you cycle so much,
You'll find what you need most of the time, if not a playable hand at worst.
Yep.
Maybe not insane. Oh yeah, find 1-drop Kid Goku, and your first 2 turns are kind of like easy made.
Yeah, but
all right, guys, that was the in-depth discussion of Kid Goku. Next week we will do another video of whatever is popular in the meta. Also coming up is the anniversary box and the World Martial Arts promos. So those might become new contenders within the meta, and we can discuss those as well. Anyways. Thank you for the constant support, guys, and stay up to date on the Patreon. We will also have more polls and such coming out. Remember to vote and write our names on next to the leaders or decks that you want us to play, so that helps clarify us. And join the Discord channel, share with your friends. The Discord's free, the Patreon's free. Come out and just support us, and we're all trying to help each other get better and have a good time. Thank you all for the support.